First of all, we've got bump caps, and bump caps are like these. They also make some bump caps that have brims on them, but this particular type right here are the type of bump cap that you can put inside of a baseball cap. You roll the sweat band down, put this in the baseball cap, then roll the sweat band back up, curl it in here, and it stays in the baseball cap, and it's strictly just that, a bump cap. Not recognized by OSHA as a hard hat. But if you worked in a facility where you might have a little accidental bump on the head or something, not overhead work, not where you would need a hard hat as required by OSHA, but just a little accidental bump, just a little additional safety, bump cap might be just a thing, okay? However, if there is overhead work in a facility, people working overhead, using equipment, having raw material, having a side grinder or something that has the potential to fall down on the workers below, then the workers below must wear a hard hat that is ANSI approved and has suspension on the inside of it, just like these do. And you may say, well, hey, you've got several hard hats there. What in the heck is the difference for the hard hats? Well, take this one. This is very modern technology. It's dirty because I wear it to factories all the time when I'm doing auditing, assessing, or safety training. But you may look very carefully at the material. This is an actual material, and they've put an epoxy on it and some kind of other coatings on it to make it very hard and stiff. It's modern technology of hard hats. It works. Some companies require this one here. And then there's another one. It's plastic, but has the suspension in it. And of course, this is one my company puts out, perfectly legal, ANSI approved. And then we have one that's been around probably since they did away with the metal hard hats back in the 70s, 80s. You may notice it has the suspension and a V in the top of it. Interesting story about this one with that V in the top. Back in I guess the 1980s when they started doing this, or 1970s, they did away with metal hard hats. You know, metal's conductive, so that wouldn't be good if you're working around electrical. They came up with these non-conductive hard hats, and they went with this technology of the V. And how this got here was from ancient Rome. You see, the Romans, I always thought it was interesting, they were fighting like the Carthaginians. And the Carthaginians were farmers, and they only had sickles to cut wheat. So they went back to the forge and their blacksmith and made weapons out of those sickles, hammered them into weapons so that they could swing them overhead. So Rome, being modern army back then, they actually had schools, universities, colleges, war colleges, and they went back to the drawing board. They were brilliant mathematicians and engineers, and they came up with the idea of strengthening their war helmets with this V here. Anytime you put a wrinkle in a material, it adds more stability to it. And you may notice this technology in everything today. Corrugated metal on the side of a building, it's flat for a little ways, and then all of a sudden there's a wrinkle, and then flat. Same engineering concept here. So that's how that got there, and adds strength to it. So always wear your hard hat if you're working below and there's overhead work, or your company requires it.